John, happy Friday and congratulations on the ongoing successes for Silver Bullet Mines. How about we start with your most recent news put out this morning about the mining activity at the Washington mine in Idaho?
Yeah, the press release this morning it's more of an informational thing. People know that we're up there in Idaho and that we've started and, we brought in our mining crew. We just wanted to kind of keep them abreast and advance them, that we're making advances on the project and the activities that's going on there, but also to always keep reminding people why we're there and what this property is all about historically and what it has for potential going forward. So this morning's email was based out of people calling me and wondering what's going on in Idaho. And I thought, what better way to do it than put it out so everybody knows where we are. We're drilling now. We're preparing the face to go underground. We're about 80 feet away from the known mineralized zone historically, obviously. And now it's the time for us to go in and get at it. And that's what we're doing.
And of course, you've had a lot of calls this week. I know we have, about the news that you put out earlier this week about your intercepts and a historical tunnel at Super Champ. You want to talk about those, please?
Wasn't that incredible? I mean, we've had, again, you got to remember what we're trying to build here with Silver Bullet Mines. It's not about a specific property. It's not about doing it. It's about generating revenue and profit for our shareholders so that we can develop other properties and put them into the mold. So what we're about is doing just that. So like I say to people, well, why aren't you at the Buckeye right now? Well, guess what? The Buckeye's grades we know, these grades are a lot higher than that. So we're going to develop what's the low-hanging fruit, which is a term I've always used. So when you come along a property like this, so we can excavate right from surface, no underground, so I don't have to rock bolt and do everything like that. And we can go in and pull out the mineralized material, ship it over to our mill and run it. And we did that before we even announced anything, as you know, and we came up with some pretty incredible results. So we're focused on that now to get that, up and running and processing through the mill. And we're still doing some work over at the Buckeye, and we will continue to do so. But right now, our company is about generating revenue. And the least resistance to doing that is what we're going for. And that's what the Super Champ is all about. And then when you look at the numbers, I mean, and we've done over 100 assays so far at the Champion mine, at the Super Champ mine. And not one of them has come back with no silver in it. We've had some 2 ounces, 3 ounces, but 1,093 ounces, 1,030 ounces. I mean, and their numbers are off the charts. Now, we all know that that's not going to hold for your head grade throughout the mill, but it certainly gives you a really good platform to build upon. You saw what we got when we did our bulk sample. We ran 19 ounces, and then we sent it out, and it came back from ACLab at 30 ounces. So what that does is 28 ounces. What that proves to me is our assay facility is doing its job, because every assay we've sent out, and we've sent a lot of check assays out to make sure, and every one of them has been more than our assay facility comes back with. So we know our assay facility is doing its job. We know it's doing it right, and we're confident that our numbers are good. So if the numbers hold, we'll see when we start milling right now. And we're producing concentrate as we speak.
And of course, I think there's a lot of people out there that are talking about you going, he's doing everything different. Would you like to explain your business model for those out there that are new to Silver Bullet Mines going, hey, silver, they're actually producing. Talk to us about your revenue directed model.
Well, again, coming out of the mining business and after spending, more than, a few years in it, you watch what happens to junior mining companies. And junior mining companies, they go out, they borrow money from their shareholders, and that's what the equity financings are basically. And they put money into it. They go out and drill a bunch of holes. And if it works out, then they get to drill a bunch more. If it doesn't, then they get, and next thing you know, they got 300 million shares outstanding. They're consolidating their stock. And you, as the shareholder, end up being diluted to death. Our model is go in there, use that approach, shadow the head frame, best place to find a mine, go back into past producing properties that have historical resources on it, not compliant 43-101, but we're there and we're mined. Our Arizona property has 5 past producers on it. So what we thought we would do is go in there, mine the properties that we can get at and put our mill in and spend $5 million on a mill instead of $5 million drilling holes in the ground, and then utilize the revenue you generate to do the exploration going forward. What that does for your shareholders is reduce the dilution they're going to take. Because if you can generate $5 million in, let's say, in profit in a year, that's $5 million you don't have to borrow at 10 cents from your shareholders. And that's what I always look at equity financing is, because I've been there, I've been down the road. I've been a large shareholder of a company that's been consolidated so many times. I think I owe them shares. So the point I'm trying to make is we thought, let's try that. Let's use this as a model to generate revenue, generate profit, and use that to find out if we got a copper porphyry on the property. Use that to find out if we've got a gold discovery there waiting to happen. In Idaho, the same thing. Take out that material that's sitting there. We know it's sitting there because historically it's and done by credible people. We know it's really good material, and we know we can get at it, and we know we can process it. By doing that and generating revenue, then I can go after the parallel zones and the zones down below without having to spend shareholder money. For some reason or another, having run my own private company for 30 odd years and having to raise money every time you needed it, you kind of say, well, why can't we put that model into what we're doing here? And that's what we're doing.
Of course, the story on how you're running Silver Bullet is definitely garnering interest from our audience at Investor News. Can you tell us what we should be anticipating in the upcoming quarter?
Well, hopefully in the upcoming quarter, all things being equal, we're going to be producing silver concentrate, doré bars, and pulling out a bulk sample in Idaho that we will then turn into revenue. The whole idea is as soon as possible to start generating revenue on a daily basis. That's the plan.
Well, you heard it here at Investor News. John Carter from Silver Bullet Mines. For more information, go to their website. And John, as always, it is a pleasure.
Great. Thank you very much, Tracy, and have a great weekend.